This set of IEMs has been a breath of fresh air compared to a lot of the things I've recently been reviewing. So I've been really spending a lot of time with them, more than I usually do with other IEMs. And of course, thank you to the folk at Keep Hi-Fi for making this review possible by sending me this demo unit. All thoughts and opinions are my own as always. So let's jump into the build quality and the unboxing. The unboxing of these is quite interesting because when I did open this box initially, my wife did think that this was some sort of a perfume box that I bought. But as you can see, it does look like that. But of course, it is not. When you open the box, you will get a whole bunch of cool stuff. You do get the literature, of course. You get a whole bunch of ear tips. In fact, 15 sets of ear tips, which is quite impressive. Important to go through these to make sure you get a set that fits you just right. Each of them do have slightly different tonal quality, so it does make sense to spend time with this and decide which one's for you. It very nicely does come with a little carry case. It's not the most premium looking carry case, but it is fabric and you do get this little zip around it so you can keep it closed. What's cool is it also does come with a little cleaning cloth inside this little carry case. So it is of course a nice welcome. And then moving on to the cable. Well, the cable that is provided is a very neatly made one. It is a braided one. It's not a very heavy or a fat one like some upgrade cables can be, but this is of course stock cable. I'd say that this is a nice quality one. Now this one is terminated to a 3.5 mm on one end. I do wish that they had a balanced option, but I mean, this is what you get. And the other side is of course terminated to the 0.78 mm connectors. So if you do want to get an upgrade cable, of course you can check out some at Keep Hi-Fi. I think they've got some really nice ones on their website itself. And then moving right on to the IEMs. Well, this set in particular is the purple variant. They do have two other colors. This does have a nice finish, of course. Now you can see the KBEAR logo in the faceplate, which is cool, and it does seem to have very interesting sort of designs and textures. I think no two will be alike. And what I find really cool is that this entire IEM is completely see-through. So in fact, for the first time I did experience when I unboxed these, the entire IEM is wrapped in a plastic so it doesn't get scratched. Now this I think can get scratched over time. It will tend to look a little dull over a longer period of time. But what's really cool is when you look into the IEM, you will see these little channels and sort of tubes that lead away from the drivers that push towards the nozzle, because there is no specific large chamber inside where this is going to resonate. Each driver is pushing its energy straight through the tube, which will reach the nozzle, which in turn reaches your ear canal and your eardrum. So it's cool that it's got that. They do appear to have little venting ports. There is an opening on each of these, so I suppose it does have some amount of breathability, but I think this will be difficult to show you on camera, but it does have this little venting port behind the 0.78 mm input on the IEM. Now inside you can see all the different drivers, which is also quite cool. So I mean, it's interesting that they've done this. Now coming to the ear tips, well, like I did mention, they do come in a various sort of materials and sizes. The one I've chosen to settle with is this much larger board one. It's pretty comfortable and I like the way it handles its stage and its base with these in particular. Comfort wise, as you will see, this does have this contoured section over here. Now this I've somehow found to be significantly more comfortable than the flatter IEMs in terms of design. I've worn these for hours on end and this has genuinely been extremely comfortable to wear. I have not had any comfort issues or pain related issues when it comes to wearing these IEMs. Moving on to the sound, well, each of these IEMs do have one dynamic driver, one balanced armature driver and two microplanar magnetic drivers. So there's a lot going on within this. And they have a frequency response of 20 Hz all the way up to 20,000 Hz and have a very easy to drive low resistance of just 11 ohms. Now you'd think that with all those drivers there'd be a lot of confusion within the chamber, but I think how they've managed to deal with that is give each driver its own independent tubing towards the nozzle, to your ear canal and eardrum. So there's no sort of confusion within this chamber with resonance. So there's no battle going on over there. On a volume front, of course, these are easy to drive. So I've found that when I plug in a Rose's Elsa RZ550, terrific little DAC amp, to my phone, I'm listening to these at around maybe 20 to 25% volume. Then again, I think Android phones tend to boost the signal for some reason. When I connect the same driver to my Mac, it's a lot more fun. I'd say 45 to 50%, and it's around an equal volume. But having said that, I would say please avoid listening to any music over prolonged periods of time that is too high if you intend on preserving your hearing. And then moving on to its soundstage, well, it's surprisingly good for a set of IEMs because it does have, it sits maybe an inch out of each IEM depending on the recording and mix. And I was listening one of my go-to tracks for staging is Faithfully, and it starts off, the drum roll starts off on the left, and then it does do that whole arch just over. In fact, it's not usually at your eyebrow line like some IEMs can be, but it seemed to be a little higher up over here when it came to that drum roll. Very impressive for a set of IEMs, I'd say. I'd say it's more vertical and horizontal than it has a lot more, should I say, depth this way. But still a pretty good performer in terms of the price it's at as well, because I have heard some IEMs that don't have as much vertical stage. Imaging wise, I think if you are an audiophile or a person who listens to music who's very technical, if you want something that's terrifically analytical, I'd say maybe look away from this. It's not exactly the most analytical set of IEMs. But then again, at the same time, I found myself enjoying this a lot because it's not that analytical. In fact, there are so many IEMs that I've been listening to over the past few years that are just obsessed with feeding you all that finer detail and, razor sharp accuracy when it comes to instrument presentation, vocal presentation. And the thing is, it can get a bit tiring, it can get a bit fatiguing when you have nothing but utmost detail. It's like going through multiple maths equations and just trying to make sure everything is, really there. This set of IEMs is calmer, it's easier over there. It's not trying to give you the best detail and resolution, which makes you want to enjoy the music more than the technicality of it. So I found myself properly enjoying music over the past many days that I've been testing this, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that in the hobby. They're forgetting to enjoy the music. They're focusing more on all the elements of the music rather than enjoying it. So I think this is a very good reminder for that. It's important to do that. And this is a set of IEMs that you can add to your collection when you don't want to listen to too much detail. Pop these in, enjoy your music as it is. And then moving on to the highs, mids and lows. Well, it does have kind of a very safe tuning. I think a lot of IEMs are going for this, especially if they're looking for, the normal sort of, call it a Harman curve, elevated lows, elevated highs and recessed mids. Now, having said that, the IEMs, like I said, do come with a whole bunch of ear tips. Now, these will change the sense of how this is tuned in some occasions. Like I myself like the larger board ear tips because it's easier on the bass. It's not as in your face. With the larger board ear tips, your stage does expand a bit more and your bass is a little easier going. So I'd say the bass response with the larger ear tips to me suited me better. It does still have a good amount of kick and presence. It also does have pretty good extension, I'd say, but at the same time it's got a nice tightness to it. It's well structured without being bloated. And then moving on to the mids, the mid region, I'd say in the upper mids can be a little elevated, but I've thrown some, I know, sibilant tracks at it, but it sort of gets almost there to being sibilant, but never really cuts through. So it's like it's culling that sort of peak a little bit better than some other IEMs are. So at no point have I heard, ear-piercing sibilants through this. It's been pretty comfortable, pretty relaxed to listen to. It does manage separation between vocals and instruments in this range pretty well as well. So, not that it, like I mentioned, the imaging isn't sharp. It is sharp, but at the same time, it's not razor sharp, so it's not offending you, but it's well separated in this region, keeping instruments and vocals, enjoyable enough to be able to listen to what you want to listen to without being too aggressive. And then the high frequencies, I think, might leave some people a little wanting. If you are somebody who wants something that's really sort of forward in the high frequencies, if you like bright sounding IEMs, if you look like bright tunings, this might not cut it for you, but I think this is just right. If you are high frequency sensitive, there are some things that might come through a little too sharply to you, but I think this is fine for most listeners. It comes through with a good amount of sparkle and detail and enthusiasm, while not being too shrill and sharp to pierce your ears. So with all this, I did wonder, is it worthwhile even talking about timbre when it comes to a set of IEMs that sound like this? Well, honestly, in this price range, it's important to talk about realism. It's not the truest sounding earphone, or should I say IEM out there, but at the same time, it gives you enough realism to know exactly what you're listening to. It doesn't sound like it's muted or muffled, but it does lean slightly more towards being slightly warmer than, I'd say, a lot of the bright sounding IEMs that exist in the market today. So to sum up, I would say this is a very enjoyable set of IEMs. It is a bit different compared to everything else that is in the same price range or more affordable stuff. And I think something that really fits these IEMs is a small review I saw while I was going through the product page to get to know about these a bit better. There's a gentleman who's left a comment, or should I say his review, and the opening line is, "Not a sports car, more of a luxury sedan." And that's exactly what this is. It sounds plush, it is enjoyable, it's not meant to be sort of aggressive, you know, with certain tunings. It is a safe tuning, no doubt, but it's somehow very enjoyable to listen to. It does have that sense of you know, having that three-piece suit on. It is definitely well presented all around. Now, I would say that if you're somebody who's very particular about your IEMs, you will have to be a little more cautious, because these look like they're made entirely out of resin. So they can pick up scratches and scuffs over time. You do have that little sort of microfiber cleaning cloth that they have provided. You can use that, of course. But that's maybe the only real issue I have with this. I'd say if you want a little more detail, maybe consider looking at some of the upgrade cables that are available on Keep Hi-Fi. They do have some. In fact, I'll link a few down below for you. Sound-wise, these are terrifically enjoyable. Musicality wise, yes, they are not as analytical as I think some people will like. So I would say if you are only an analytical listener, I'd say maybe look at other sets of IEMs. But if you are that individual who wants musicality, you want to enjoy, you know, various elements in your music, yes, but not properly razor sharp detail, I think you're definitely going to enjoy this. And they've somehow managed to maintain a good amount of low frequencies, and somehow it doesn't eat into a lot of the details in the mids and the highs. I suppose that's thanks to that tubing that they've done, and there's no resonance inside this IEM that will sort of eat into it. I suppose there's no standing wave that will do that. But anyway, very enjoyable set of IEMs. I would recommend these. And of course, if you do want to pick these up, I will leave the link down below. They are available, of course, on the Keep Hi-Fi website, who, of course, these folk were kind enough to send it to me for this review. So if you do want to buy this, this is available. Remember, it has 3 different colors you can choose from, but it does have a price of $169 at the time of recording this video. I think it's fairly new, so I don't think they'll have any discounts on it right now, or maybe they will be later on, but it's worthwhile keeping an eye on it. But honestly, at this price, I think it's fun. It's a good set. Don't compare it to more analytical IEMs, because it's not trying to do that. It's trying to be more musical and give you more fun. So anyway, that's my review on the KBEAR KB08 Mirage, and I do hope that this video has given you a better understanding for these IEMs, and I do hope that I've helped you make some sort of purchase decision. If you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.